there, everybody! Sorry, I guess I'm just acting a little loony today. Looney Tunes! I love Looney Tunes, and it was one of my favorite things to watch growing up. Something about that old-fashioned animation brings up memories of when I would stay up till 1 in the morning watching these on Cartoon Network. This was way before Adult Swim came and...
Best night right here in the middle of your... Ow!
Oh, my. While the Looney Tunes were more so thriving from the 1930s through the 60s with Warner Brothers' Merry Melodies, the characters seem to have gotten a resurgence in the 90s. They got new spin-off shows like Tiny Toon Adventures and Tasmania, as well as a series of TV commercials with arguably the biggest name in sports of the decade, Michael Jordan. MJ! These ads for companies like Nike and McDonald's would feature Jordan and Bugs Bunny, plus various other characters, going through a scenario that involved playing a game of basketball. Which, I'm sure you know what that turned into. The popularity of these commercials, plus the superstar life of Michael Jordan, created Space Jam, a theatrical film where Jordan gets sucked into the world of the Looney Tunes to play a game of basketball. With its blend of live action and animation, it was a huge success and is still loved by many, with a sequel in the works involving current basketball superstar LeBron James.
LeBron James?
Yeah, that one. But between these two films, there was another Looney Tunes theatrical movie that gets a little overlooked, I feel. Looney Tunes Back in Action was released in 2004, almost 10 years after Space Jam came out. Was directed by Joe Dante, the same dude that directed Gremlins, and stars Brendan Fraser, Jenna Elfman, and Steve Martin. It's about... a lot, really. The plot is something I'm not really sure how to explain. It's a road trip movie, a spy movie, a sci-fi movie, it's all over the place. Nowhere near as fondly remembered as Space Jam, critics were pretty meh about it, and it was a box office bomb to say the least. So was this movie really that despicable, or were they just a bunch of maroons? Well, let's find out. This is Looney Tunes Back in Action. We start off with a classic Merry Melodies scene of Wabbit season and Duck season before we cut to Warner Brothers executives going through a Bugs Bunny movie pitch that Daffy is furious about. Here we meet Kate Houghton, Vice President of Comedy, played by Jenna Elfman, and she's related to Danny Elfman. That's pretty cool. Daffy is tired of playing second fiddle to Bugs and wants his own movie, which then prompts the Warner Brothers to fire him. We then meet DJ, a studio security guard and stuntman whose father is Damian Drake, a big-time secret agent movie star. Kate asks DJ to take Daffy off property, but he escapes. How hard is it to lose a duck? I didn't have a joke there, I was actually just wondering. I know we've seen this in things like Pee-wee's Big Adventure and Big Fat Liar, but I love when movies have a chase scene in a studio lot going through all kinds of sets. It's just my love of behind-the-scenes filmmaking, I guess. Also, Batman. Daffy drives the Batmobile into the water tower, flooding the studio and prompting DJ to get fired. We then have a scene that I think is pretty brilliant. We go through tables at a nice restaurant with a few animated characters. Porky Pig and Speedy Gonzales complaining about political correctness, and Shaggy complaining to Matthew Lillard about the live-action movie.
Sorry you feel that way. I was trying to be real to your character.
If you like Goof on Me in the sequel, I'm coming after you.
I love how self-aware the studio is to put this kind of thing in this movie. Not afraid of making fun of themselves and their history. It's a cool thing to see if you ask me. DJ goes home to find Daffy stowed away in his backpack, and he gets a message from his father through a painting in the house. Come on, why isn't this thing working? Turns out Damian Drake doesn't just act as a secret agent, he is a secret agent. Cool. Drake tells DJ to go to Las Vegas and find Dusty Tails and ask her about a special diamond called the Blue Monkey. So DJ, along with Daffy, head onto the road to Vegas, in which this conversation happens.
Did you see those mummy movies? I'm in them more than Brendan Fraser is. Oh no, you couldn't stand that. One day he decides to say, no, the Brandmaster does all his own stunts.
And this was made before Tomb of the Dragon Emperor came out, but we don't talk about that one. After the Warner Brothers demand Daffy back, Bugs calls him to ask him where he is. All the while the phone call is being intercepted by Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Can I ask you a question?
What the hell is going on here?
We then meet our villain, the chairman of Acme Corp, Mr. Chairman, played by an extremely overacting Steve Martin. I swear, Steve Martin without white or gray hair is just incorrect. Mr. Chairman wants the blue monkey for his own diabolical scheme and vows to get it first, all while creepily sexually harassing his employees.
Well, Mary, how'd you like to do a little kissing later?
Yeah. That's what they all say at first.
Kate and Bugs go to DJ's house and take to Las Vegas in a spy car found in the garage, which can do basically everything from make cocktails to give our female lead a wardrobe change because costume designers need something to do. Daffy and DJ arrive at Yosemite Sam's casino in Vegas, which Sam is then hired by Mr. Chairman to take them out. Alright, where's this Dusty Tails person?
To be good, boy, get yourself a bad girl.
Where have I seen this before?
Hey, fellas, I'll take 'em all.
That's right. DJ talks to Dusty and she tells him the blue monkey has supernatural powers and was last supposed to give his father a unique Queen of Diamonds card. But Sam's goons ruin the party. And I mean, party. DJ fights off the goons, but the card falls into a blackjack shuffler in which the most obvious joke in the movie takes place.
Hit me! Hit me!
No, no, no! Hit me, Fred Nabbit!
DJ finds the card and escapes, only to run into Kate and Bugs, in which a car chase ensues. The chase almost ends in a crash, but Daffy says his trademark panic word, mother, in which the ship flies off to take them to Mother. Cool. The group accidentally crash the car and they end up stranded in the middle of the desert. And there's a part here that is very subtle, but I like that they have it.
Ugh, what am I talking to you for? All you have to do is munch on a carrot and people love you.
I like what the animators did there. They were able to show Bugs' confusion as to why people love him, but also the sympathy that he feels for Daffy. It's always been true that Bugs was the star of everything and Daffy was second fiddle, comparable to Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. I like how this movie not only acknowledges it, but somehow has you feel Daffy's struggle with this. Gives these characters a little bit more depth as opposed to just... The next morning, they wander around the desert and come across a mirage that just happens to be a Walmart, and they start spewing off random product names.
Water, Fresca, Mountain Dew, your product name here.
While we're at it, why don't I just drive my Fiat 500 down to the local store where I can buy some Chester's Flamin' Hot Fries, and once it completely and utterly destroys my stomach, I can go to the bathroom and use VI Poo. After a failed attempt to get rid of the group from Wile E. Coyote, they come across a portal which takes them to... a mix of Frankenfurter's lab and Wonka's inventing room. We'll roll with it! Here we meet Mother. Who is she? We don't really know. All I know is that she's batshit insane.
Thanks.
They're already here!
All right.
You're next! You're next!
Guess I better add horror to the list of genres this movie is. Mother shows the group a video explaining the blue monkey can turn humans into monkeys, and Mr. Chairman wants to turn people into monkey slaves to make his Acme products, and then buy those same products when changed back into a human. Pretty good business plan, but I think these guys are already doing that.
And remember, no one wants to be turned into a monkey.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
Mother's in the process of giving DJ spy gear when Marvin the Martian releases all the captive aliens.
I knew this day would come.
They escape the facility and see that the Queen of Diamonds card has the Mona Lisa on it, so they head to Paris in the most cartoon way possible.
Like this.
Really should stop questioning the logic of this movie, but we all know that's not going to happen.
Now all we have to do is steal the Mona Lisa.
Cage, I got a job for you. The card actually reveals a map of Africa behind the Mona Lisa, and they take a picture of it before Elmer Fudd comes to ruin everything.
As it turns out, I'm secretly evil.
Okay, are these the same Looney Tunes that teamed up with Michael Jordan to escape from Moron Mountain? Why is this happening? While Elmer Fudd chases Bugs and Daffy, creatively might I add, through various famous art pieces, Kate gets kidnapped by Stone Cold Steve Austin and steals the phone they used to take the picture. DJ saves her from falling off the Eiffel Tower, but Bugs kept the card so that they could still see the map. Boy, that was an eventful, 5 minutes? Mr. Chairman gets the phone, but Daffy is in the way of the shot, so he employs the Tasmanian Devil to go and find them. So this guy has what? Every evil Looney Tune at his disposal? Now in Africa, we run into Granny, Sylvester, and Tweety Bird casually riding an elephant and offer our gang a lift. What? They arrive at the location of the Blue Monkey, and I feel Brendan Fraser is a little more in his element. Green tank, adventure outfit, somebody give this man work! Kate goes through a puzzle that sets off various traps until the Blue Monkey finally appears. Then Granny, Sylvester, and Tweety reveal to be the Chairman, Steve Austin, and Taz in disguise? I did not see that coming!
Let's do some drills.
I'm just happy they acknowledge this movie's existence at this point. Steve Austin zaps everyone away, which sends them to Acme Corp.
It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch!
Back at Acme, Mr. Chairman has DJ's dad, Damian Drake, strapped to dynamite-riddled train tracks, and he sends Marvin the Martian to the satellite where he will attach the Blue Monkey, in which Daffy and Bugs follow.
I prefer marriage!
Oh, HR is gonna have a field day with this! DJ and Kate attempt to save Drake from the train when a robotic dog blocks their path, all the while Bugs and Marvin are having a Star Wars-like battle. Oh, the days when other companies could even reference Star Wars. DJ runs past the dog and saves his father from the oncoming train with, okay, yeah, sure, that's a fine angle to save someone. Yeah, totally believe that. Daffy, now dressed as Duck Dodgers, blows up the satellite and saves Bugs feeling like a true hero. The backfire turns Mr. Chairman into a monkey instead, and the spaceship crashes into the Acme building. This company going under? But where will the world get all their anvils from? With Daffy proclaiming his heroism, they made a movie inside a movie joke. Cool. The film ends with DJ punching the actual Brendan Fraser, and Bugs rides off in his limo with Daffy finally feeling like an important part of the crew.
Go home, folks.
So that was Looney Tunes back in action. I have one question. Why was this so hated? Maybe hated is too strong of a word, but many people don't seem to like this. At least compared to Space Jam, which I see no reason why. Yeah, they are completely different movies, even if both involve the same characters, but I much prefer this one. Space Jam has those scenes with the actual basketball players trying to figure out what was wrong with them, and they seemed out of place, and to me, ruined the flow of the movie. In this, while the locations are all over the map, for lack of a better term, the focus is pushed more on what it should be, on the actual Looney Tunes, while the human characters, while having their moments, take a little more of a back seat. Something intense could be happening, and Bugs or Daffy would be doing a visual gag in the background. That's what I loved about this. Having these animated characters uplift the scenes, not bring them down. It somewhat reminds me of Who Framed Roger Rabbit, where these cartoon characters just live in our everyday lives like normal. Unlike Space Jam, where it was Michael who went to the cartoon world, the Looney Tunes are in ours. For faults, yeah, it's a bit much how they jump from location to location, and there are certain times where it feels like it doesn't know what genre it wants to be, never staying with one for very long. I also think Steve Martin's a pretty forgettable villain. He's not really interesting, but he isn't in the movie that much, so it's not that big of a deal. A big appreciation I have for this is the fact that it knew how to make fun of itself, the characters, and even the Warner Brothers brand as a whole. I also enjoy how they added a layer of depth to the characters of Bugs and Daffy. Them being the two animated characters you follow the entire time, they were still their normal selves, but they had a little bit more to them, even having you feeling sympathetic towards Daffy at times. There are so many visual gags and lines that I wouldn't be able to cover all of them on this. But overall, if you have a love of Looney Tunes, enjoyment of movie making, or just want to see a fun family adventure, give it a watch. Shows that sometimes even big movie studios like Warner Brothers can have a bit of a sense of humor. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have you seen Looney Tunes back in action? Have you seen Space Jam? Do you think the two movies are comparable, and which one do you like better? Let me know in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more movie reviews, cartoon discussions, and anything else I can come up with. Thanks, everybody!